Hi everybody, it's me, Jessica Lahore, and we're back with another Jess Talk. And today we are talking all about Jessica's personal style, choices, decisions, fashion, and more. But before we get into this week's Jess Talk, you know the drill. Subscribe to my channel on YouTube, hit the bell for notifications. You're not going to want to miss out on any content. And we're streaming on all platforms as a podcast. Okay, personal style and fashion choices. Let's get into it.
Attention the whore, attention the whore, attention the whore, attention. Here I am walking down the street, seeing all the boys trying to take a peek. Shorts pulled up and chest out right. Come on boys, just take a bite. Look but don't touch, spin it round and round. Crazy.
Okay, so how do I start with my personal style and choices? I have always identified, and I've changed this a little bit more over the years. So when I first started drag, Jessica identified as a chameleon of drag. She wanted to blend into any environment and have every look for every occasion, and that's so true. But then I started thinking about this idea more as I was growing older in the drag community. And chameleons try to blend in and kind of, fit into the mold of whatever space they're in. And I didn't really like that. So I kind of changed to being more of like a ditto. Remember that little googly Pokemon that could like replicate, identify like with something else? But Jessica's like replicating a theme, but not identically to the other people. It's always going to be a mixture of a chameleon ditto. Take the chameleon, take the ditto, smash them together. You've got Jessica Lahore. I like to make sure that I have an outfit for every single occasion, no matter what the occasion is. Jessica's never been in a box. And I know so many drag entertainers say that, but then ultimately they're in the same fucking box. I like to do a little bit of everything when it comes to my looks, my styles. But where the transition came from is I didn't want to blend in. I wanted to fit themes and fit storylines and ideas, but stand out and have people be like, wow, that is perfect I like know immediately what story this person is trying to tell. And that's from accessories to the costume or the outfit to the wig. Everything has to make sense and tell the story of the character that you see. For example, who am I right now? I am somebody that is like working on a train. I am a flight attendant. I'm somebody like in the fucking Harry Potter movie.
Is anything from the trolley, dear?
I'm that person. I've got my short hair and my little cap. I look professional. I look like I could do your taxes. I look like I could, this person here is a professional. She's fashion forward. She's a hard worker. She works for like upper class trains and upper class, first class flight attendant, that kind of deal. That is the bitch you're working with. If you get customer service with me, my goal is to take care of you, because I look like I'm paid to do so. And that's the idea. Everything that I wear has a story and tells a story. And it's from head to toe. And it's really important to me that I have every piece to complete the story. Otherwise, I feel incomplete. I feel like a mess. That's where my drag is transitioned. As I acquire more drag and my taste has gotten bigger, and even I'd say out of drag, I've noticed that I move a lot of the things that I wear in drag and out of drag, and I intermix them, because I had a moment where out of drag, I realized I wasn't giving Zach enough attention with their style. I was known as wearing sweatpants, a makeup t-shirt, a bald cap, or a hat, and I still am known for that, but I was only known for that. People never saw me in anything else other than that type of clothing. Loose, really standoffish, and there was an amazing community member named Skylar Lakey who was known for being loud, bold prints, colors, patterns, fashion forward, would stand at the shows and everybody would love to see what they wore. They walked into a room and they would be glowing because their personal style was so effervescent. It was so unique. It was so authentic to them. And unfortunately, they passed away. And many people were touched by them, myself included. We were very good friends and got great advice. And they used to work at a thrift store, and they would pick out, for many entertainers, they'd be like, oh, this came into the thrift store and I thought about you and I put it to the side because I knew you had to have it. And they would do that for so many people. And it was just a keen sense. Like, even this belt that I'm wearing was something I got from Skylar after they had passed. And I have a whole outfit, iconic outfit from them that I don't really wear because I haven't found a way to do it justice the way that they used to do it. But I really changed my persona and attitude about my fashion in and out of drag to try and being more bold. Not trying to be so hidden, not trying to be so closeted in being loud or proud in a space because I didn't want the attention, and being okay with that. And when I went to their funeral, I showed up like many other people did in their most fashionable look. And granted, at that time, everyone had to wear masks to the memorial, and I wore something very, what I considered fashiony, and other people did too. I was in a heel and a slack and, a brimmed hat, and everybody dressed up because that's what Skylar would have wanted folks to do, and nobody recognized me. And that was outside of it being a little bit because of COVID times. That was outside of mask wearing because we were outside, so we weren't in masks like the entirety of the time. But nobody had seen me in anything other than sweats, a dirty makeup tank top, a hoodie, something really easy. And I think that was another huge reality check that I wanted it to change what my personal style looked like. I wanted to wear bright colors in and out of drag. I wanted to wear heels. I wanted to play with body shape in drag. I wanted to feel comfortable going back to my old roots in drag and wearing just my skin and my legs and not feeling like I had to pad every time. I wanted to get out of the Jessica's known as just being costumey, like over the top costumey, and try to figure out more intentional looks, from period pieces to characters like this character, a Target worker, for instance, that grandma that everybody knows and loves. Like, everything has a purpose. And that was out of drag too. I wanted to be more comfortable wearing dresses and two pieces and mixing patterns and walking out in heels on a day-to-day, and people be like, it's Tuesday at 10 a.m. and you're at King Soopers, the grocery store, and why are you done up? Why? Because I'm waking up alive and proud, and it makes me feel good. Starting to change my personal style really helped fix a lot of depression for me. Depression in my own identity, depression with how I perceived myself and what I thought I was worthy to show up as, perception of like feeling ugly, feeling fat, feeling gross, and finding clothes that helped me get out of that funk. Instead of waking up and just putting on sweats and going throughout the day, I would get up, I would shower, and I would put on a cute outfit, something that made me feel good. And at first, it was really hard to find what worked for my body, what made sense on my body, and what made me feel comfortable, let alone get out of that headspace of, you should not be wearing that. You're not allowed to wear that. I started even changing my underwear style. I was very much somebody that didn't wear thongs or jocks because I didn't feel or perceive myself sexy enough to wear those items. I would look at models and I'd look at the people showing off the underwear, and I didn't look anything like them. And I was like, oh, well, this isn't for me. These clothes are for people that are attractive. And it took me a while to get out of that funk until I got to a place where I was like, I deserve to wear clothes that make me feel good, and I deserve to walk out in public and be the loudest one in a room. And now, if you know me now in the last couple of years since then, you know that if you invite me to a party, I'm probably going to show up and looking my best, no matter what the event is. No matter if we're going to the movies, no matter if it's a birthday party, if it's a trip to Taco Bell, if it is us hanging out and I feel like getting dressed up, there's a high possibility Zach or Jessica is going to show up looking their best at all times because it makes me feel good. And some people don't understand how to perceive other people's sense of personal style, and they interpret it as being attention grabbing or making it all about them, or you have to show up, and why
it's not even your birthday. Why are you showing up looking so good?
Because I felt like it. It's not to steal focus away. It's not like I'm going to a wedding and wearing a white dress to steal from the bride. Like, I'm not stupid. I'm not an idiot when it comes to events, but if you're hosting an event or a party and you expect me to come, you should know that with the invitation means that I'm going to show up. If there's a theme, I'm going to go all out. My personal style has really expressed into my identity as being a trans non-binary human and saying, I'm going to wake up today And I'm going to put on clothes that make me feel good about myself today. And sometimes I look a little bit more butch and I'm in a suit and slacks and Converse, or I feel like being a little hoe and I'm in booty shorts and a crop top. Or some days I feel like being a little bit more feminine and I'm in heels and a dress and a shawl, or I wear different jewelry and accessories. And it's literally because that's how I felt that day. And when I stopped caring about what other people thought about my presence in a room the way that I did, and the thing is, I used to be that person.
Why are you dressed up? Why did you have to show off? Why did you have to come in and be loud in this space that isn't really needed?
And it's because internally, I was jealous of those people. I was jealous that I felt I couldn't do that. And in my head, I could justify it by tearing somebody else down in my mind, or even saying, oh, this person is just trying to show off and try to be bigger or bolder, instead of saying, wow, I really love that. I'm inspired by your confidence to come and just show up how you are. Maybe that'll exude through me. And now it does. And now I flipped. And now there's people that are jealous of me. And I really think that's where it comes from. Personal style is not to, if you're doing it for the right reasons, isn't to prove a point. I've never been about money. I've never been about name brand. I've never been about designers. That's not where my MO. And some people are, and more power to them. I do not care about name brands. I don't know fancy labels. I recognize some. I'm not going to spend the money on it. That's just that's not where I come from. That's not how I feel. But I don't downplay others that want to be those people. And if I started downplaying them, it would be out of jealousy. That's where personal style, I think, can get really messy with your friends. I would never tell somebody they're too much or too extra in the way that they show up in their clothing and their personal style, because that's just telling that person that they shouldn't be who they are. Shirley Delta Blow says it the best, and I hear it and I repeat it in everything that I do all the time, especially when I'm feeling hard on myself. When you choose, and I'm adding this little part, when you choose leave your home, and then this is where Shirley comes in, and show up authentically and unapologetically yourself. And that's in your personal style. That's in the way that you speak and act. That's the way that you interact with folks. You give, and I added that, you give permission to others to do the same. Shirley Delta Blow said it. When you show up authentically and unapologetically as you give permission to others to do the same. And I put that mantra on repeat because life is too short. It's so cliche to say, they say you only live once. No, you only die once. You live every single day. And I want to live as happy, as loud, and as proud as I can. And if that is at the cost of somebody else taking the steps to figure that out for themselves, they will. And I know that you're like, well, you're not really talking about personal style. Oh, I am. My identity, my clothing, everything that I am is my personal style. The way that I speak is my personal style. It's not just clothes. We started with clothes, but it's such an expression that exudes into so many different territories of who that person is. It's about their choices, their decisions that they make, the way that they interact. Everything contributes to personal style and aesthetic. If we're bringing it down to fashion simplistically, that's what it is for me. Now, when I look at drag, my drag aesthetic and style and personal style has changed a lot. When I first started drag, it was really about how slutty I can get. How much of my ass and my body can I show? How many holes and how much of my skin can I show? And that's transitioned. I'm still that girl. I will always be that girl. Don't get me wrong. But it's transitioned to storytelling. I love wearing the unexpected. I love when people don't expect me to own a style or a fashion or a piece that I would never wear. I get compliments all the time saying, you really can wear every hair color. You can wear every hairstyle. You can wear every type of outfit. Everything you wear in and out of drag is quintessentially you. It is. Because I own it, because I'm confident in putting it together. I'm not just putting an outfit on and I'm not trying to do the appropriate makeup or not the right accessories. I'm not just putting something on to put it on. I do it to be intentional. And some people struggle with that balance of being like, the fashion is going to wear them. Look at Drag Race, for example. How many times do we see entertainers go down the runway and you love what they're wearing, but they can't sell it because it's not authentically them? The fashion drowns them because they're being forced to put on what they think the judges will like, rather than putting on something that they like that's applicable to the theme that is expected of them. And that's how life is for me. I'm not going to wear something that I would not wear. And I'm also not going to dog on somebody for wearing something that I would not wear either. But also, you can tell when somebody's uncomfortable in what they're wearing, whether it's too tight or it's just not their style or they don't like those colors. And sometimes people are like, I will only wear black. Black is the only color I wear. That is your own aesthetic. That's not for me. That's not my choice.
Choices.
I want to wear every color that exists. I want to wear every style of fashion that exists in and out of drag. I want to have in my closet downstairs, when I go to put on a show, I want to show up in era pieces, period pieces, replicated pieces, impersonations, from spooky to glamorous to crazy to that one Uncle Kevin number that I do. Everything has a purpose. I want to be an alien goddess that's in control of the universe, just as much as I want to look like somebody that goes down to the Dollar Tree and buys a bunch of snacks and gets stoned to eat later. My personal style is endless. And I think that a lot of people restrict themselves and they say, and I used to be that person.
Oh, I can't wear short wigs. Short wigs don't work on me. Oh, I can't wear long hair. I can't wear pink. I can't wear this color because it never looks good on me.
And I would argue that every person can look good in drag, in everything, if they take the time to do it in their own way. And they take the time to manipulate what they hate about that specific thing and that doesn't work for them, and actually thinks about how they can make it work for themselves. Fashion is endless. I don't understand it. I'm not a fashionista by any means. I don't know runway and I don't know brands and designers. I'm so bad when it comes to that. But I'm inspired by people that are fashionable. And it pushes me to find my own aesthetic and my own lane. And my lane is endless. And it feels good to get to this place because this is all recent in the last 4 years, maybe 3.5 years. For the first many, many years of my life, I spent it hating everything I put on my body and every place I was in. And I spent a lot of time resenting those that could have the confidence that I couldn't, instead of trying to find it myself. And if you're one of those people out there, really think and look in the mirror at how you treat yourself, how you talk to yourself, what you put on your body, and what you're doing for you and what you think that you're doing for others. Because it's not about anybody else but yourself. Your personal style literally is for you. And if you sit there and you're criticizing somebody and you're not in a position to ask for feedback, because I think inherently everybody in our minds criticizes what people wear, choose what you do with that criticism. Are you criticizing and letting it just happen in your brain and leave it? Or are you taking it to hurt somebody, bring somebody down, tear somebody down, and make them feel inadequate for what they chose to put on their body that day? You don't know what someone's going through. You don't know what place they're in. You don't know if that was their first leap into loving themselves a little bit harder. Sure, it's not for you. Maybe you don't think it fits them well, but that's not your place unless you're a judge behind a judging panel or you were asked for their feedback. Or that's your good friend. If that's your good Judy, your good friend, maybe you can be like, hey girl, I don't know about that. I love you. Maybe this instead. It's very, very touchy. But like, if my good Judy said that to me, I would definitely take their advice just as much as I know my good Judy would as well. But there are some people that feel the need to go out of their way. And
Regina George.
Like,
it's such a cute top.
Yeah, and then walk away. That's the ugliest fucking skirt I've ever seen.
Oh my god, I love your skirt. Where did you get it?
It was my mom's in the 80s.
Vintage. So adorable.
Thanks.
That is the ugliest effing skirt I've ever seen.
You know, so what? Leave it alone. Overall, I think that you should be living your life in your personal style, whether that's fashion, voice and language, mindset, confidence, job. Your personal style exudes through you and your identity. So let us see it. Even MAGA Trump's supporters have their own personal style and identity. And that's the only time I will tell you it's wrong. And I hope we use this clip, and I know I'm going to get shit. I talked this whole episode about not dogging on people, but if you wear a red MAGA hat or you're a Trump supporter, this is the only time I'll tell you that your fashion sucks and you should make better life choices for yourself. It may be your personality, but do you want that to be your personality? No, you don't. I know you don't. You're better than that. Tell me down below, what are some things that you wear to make you feel better about yourself? What does personal style mean to you? And have you found your true self in your personal style journey? We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
I'm an attention whore. Can't help it, bitch. I'm an attention whore.